America will soon be greater, stronger, and far more exceptional than ever before.
It was a day filled with pageantry, power plays, and jaw-dropping surprises. From unexpected guests to moments that left the internet buzzing, this wasn't your typical Inauguration Day. And wait until you see who made headlines with a dramatic transformation and the bold move that left Hillary Clinton visibly stunned. Here's what you missed on Inauguration Day, and trust me, it's shocking. The inauguration ceremony marked a grand return. Welcome to January 20th, 2025, a date etched in history as Donald Trump officially reclaimed the title of President of the United States. In a historic turn of events, Trump became the first president since Grover Cleveland to serve 2 non-consecutive terms. Today's inauguration ceremony wasn't just about political protocols, it was a display of grandeur, unpredictability, and shocking moments that many missed. The Capitol was alive with energy, flooded with an audience of Trump's loyal supporters, political elites, and notable figures from various walks of life. While the eyes of the world were fixed on the west front of the Capitol, the guest list alone was enough to spark intrigue. Former Presidents Barack Obama, George W. Bush, and Bill Clinton were in attendance, each with expressions that seemed to carry the weight of their own political histories. However, the collective spotlight often swerved toward the tech industry tycoons prominently seated near the front. Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and Tim Cook, the powerhouses driving America's technology revolution, sat front and center, a move signaling their undeniable influence in the political landscape. Their presence was a quiet statement about their proximity to decision-making power. Of course, all eyes were on President Donald himself as he took the oath. Clad in a sharp black coat and his signature red tie, Donald seemed more energized than ever. His wife, Melania Trump, stood gracefully by his side, exuding elegance in a striking, custom-designed powder blue outfit. In a rare genuine moment, cameras caught Donald turning to Melania for what appeared to be a congratulatory kiss, only to fumble slightly, an incident that immediately went viral as meme culture descended upon it with lightning speed. But the inauguration wasn't all about decorum and fashion. From the very beginning, the sense of the unexpected hung in the air. For example, in his inaugural address, Trump alluded to ambitious future projects, dropping cryptic hints about rebranding global regions and asserting America's dominance, a teaser for what was to come later in the day. Among the cheering crowd were public figures and celebrities. Reality TV icon and Trump family friend Kim Kardashian made a surprise appearance, sparking speculation about her own political aspirations. Close family members, including Ivanka, Don Jr., and Tiffany, joined Barron Trump, whose own appearance would soon become a headline of its own. While the inauguration officially signaled Trump's return to power, it also served as an elaborate spectacle of influence, aspiration, and strategy. The stage was set for a presidency filled with bold moves, and this ceremony was just a taste of what was to come. As the closing moments of the ceremony unfolded and the last notes of the national anthem echoed through the air, one thing was clear: this wasn't just a transition of power, it was the start of a story filled with shocking and history-making twists. But believe it or not, the most surprising moments weren't the political speeches or the A-list guest list. Stick around because what you're about to hear will leave you completely floored. While the inauguration of President Donald Trump was primarily a political ceremony, some of the most memorable moments that day had nothing to do with policy or speeches. They were the unexpected, unplanned incidents that captivated viewers worldwide. From endearing faux pas to impromptu improvisations, these moments brought a sense of humanity and spectacle to a day marked by history. First, let's talk about Melania Trump. The former First Lady turned heads the moment she stepped into the spotlight wearing a custom-designed powder blue ensemble with a perfectly matching pillbox hat. Melania exuded elegance. However, one genuine moment took center stage. As the newly sworn-in president turned to give her a congratulatory kiss, there was an almost comical coordination mishap. The timing was slightly off, resulting in a moment that was half embrace, half confusion. The crowd chuckled, the internet caught fire, and within hours, the scene was transformed into countless memes. While the moment was lighthearted, it reminded everyone that even the most polished individuals can experience human blunders. One of the more surprising moments that stole the show involved none other than tech mogul Elon Musk. As cameras panned over the VIP audience, they caught Musk sitting stoically during the proceedings. However, during a ceremonial salute, eagle-eyed viewers noticed Elon raise his hand in a gesture that was later widely misinterpreted as a controversial salute. The online reaction was immediate and fierce, with some accusing the billionaire of blatant disrespect and others insisting it was a misunderstood moment of awkwardness. Elon quickly took to social media to deny any inappropriate intent, jokingly tweeting that he should have stuck to waving normally. Lesson learned, he said. Adding to the unpredictability, the musical performances had their fair share of drama. Country star Carrie Underwood and legendary performer Billy Ray Cyrus took to the stage to sing patriotic classics, but a technical glitch turned things sideways. Partway through her performance, Carrie's microphone suddenly cut out. Rather than letting the mishap derail the show, she gracefully switched to an a cappella version of God Bless America, with the audience stepping in to sing along. The impromptu rendition brought a touching moment of unity, earning a standing ovation and reminding everyone of the resilience of live performances. Not all surprises were tied to hiccups or accidents, though. The program had lighter, unexpected highlights as well. During an intermission between speeches, a drone-operated light show filled the sky above the National Mall. Organized by Tesla as a personal contribution from Elon himself, the display used synchronized drones to create stunning depictions of the American flag. The show left spectators in awe, blending patriotism with cutting-edge technology. Then there were smaller but equally delightful incidents scattered throughout the day. As I have said, Kim Kardashian, a longtime Trump family ally, became a talking point when cameras caught her explaining the event's proceedings to her daughter. Northwest, in the most adorably animated way, delivered lighthearted commentary that became an instant social media hit, humanizing what was otherwise a highly formal event. Children, in general, were a recurring theme during the day, reminding everyone that amidst the grandeur, this was an event about the future. The sight of young kids waving flags, singing along to the national anthem, and even chatting excitedly with reporters provided heartwarming snapshots that broke through the political intensity. And, of course, no major event would be complete without some antics from the animal kingdom. The presidential parade that followed included the usual procession of floats, marching bands, and military demonstrations, but it was the addition of therapy animals that turned heads. In an effort to make the crowd more comfortable and engaged, several sections of the parade route featured therapy dogs walking alongside their handlers. The lovable dogs delighted attendees, offering a surprising touch of softness and charm to an otherwise formal march. These lighter moments, some unintentional, some carefully crafted, helped make Inauguration Day an experience to remember. But even with all these memorable highlights, the day held bigger surprises. Some of the most shocking moments weren't caught on stage or in the crowd, but rather in the people involved and what their appearances signified. For one person in particular, their emergence at this event would completely change how they're perceived in the public eye: Barron Trump's striking transformation. As the 2025 presidential inauguration unfolded, cameras naturally focused on Donald Trump as he took the oath of office, marking his return to the presidency. But amidst the formalities and pomp of the day, one surprising individual captured the attention of viewers across the world: Barron. The youngest of the Trump children, at 18 years old, Barron stepped into the public spotlight in a way that had many talking. So here's what you missed on Inauguration Day, and it's shocking. It had been a while since Barron made any significant public appearances, and those familiar with the shy teenager remembered him as a quiet, unassuming figure during his father's first term. However, his entrance at this inauguration was anything but low-key. Standing an impressive 6 feet 9 inches, Barron towered over his siblings and even his father, Donald Trump, who at 6 feet 3 inches was no small man himself. His striking appearance instantly became a trending topic on social media, with viewers commenting on his dramatic transformation and his uncanny resemblance to his father. Gone was the reserved, boyish figure America once knew. In his place stood a confident young man, impeccably dressed in a tailored black suit with a crisp white shirt, channeling the classic Trump look. Observers noted that his posture and demeanor seemed to echo Donald Trump's own brash self-assurance. It wasn't just his physical appearance that resembled his father, it was his presence. Social media exploded with commentary as Barron made his debut. Twitter was abuzz with hashtags like #BarronTrump and #LikeFatherLikeSon, while countless TikTok creators weighed in on his transformation. One viral video juxtaposed clips of Donald's iconic gestures with footage of Barron standing with a similarly composed, steady posture at the ceremony. The resemblance was uncanny, almost as if Barron was a younger version of Donald himself. "He's growing into the role," one commentator quipped. Another user stated that Barron Trump just gave off serious future president vibes. Mark my words. This reaction is hardly surprising, given the cultural fascination with first families. Much like John F. Kennedy Jr. in the past, Barron found himself thrust into the limelight as more than just the child of a political figure. He became a figure of intrigue in his own right. Public speculation about his future began almost immediately, with some imagining him following in his father's footsteps. However, those close to Barron have often described him as more private, academic, and introspective compared to his extroverted father. For those watching closely, there were moments that hinted at his unique personality. During a brief interaction with an audience member, he was seen smiling and shaking hands, a warm and approachable gesture that softened the perception of him as stoic or overly serious. This blend of charm and quiet confidence quickly endeared him to a broader audience. Of course, as with anything involving the Trump family, the reactions weren't without controversy. While many praised Barron for his transformation, some critics accused the media of obsessing over his appearance rather than focusing on the day's political significance. Are we really talking about a teenager's height while ignoring policy implications? One op-ed reportedly argued. Yet, the buzz around Barron's debut only seemed to grow. For those curious about his life leading up to this moment, Barron's re-emergence marks a significant shift. Currently studying at New York University, Barron has largely stayed out of the spotlight since leaving the White House in 2021. Reports suggest that he excels academically and enjoys sports, particularly basketball, which might explain his towering height. A teammate from high school described him as dedicated and humble, someone you'd never guess comes from such a high-profile family. His Inauguration Day appearance also brought a sense of nostalgia for Donald supporters, who had watched Barron grow up during the family's first term in office. Many commented that his presence symbolized a bridging of the past and present, a reminder of the first Donald presidency while ushering in a new era. But what truly caught people's attention was the symbolic weight of Barron standing beside his father. As Donald beamed at the podium, basking in the energy of the crowd, Barron stood to his right, quiet but composed. In many ways, this simple act told a story of its own. Barron was no longer the child being shielded from public scrutiny. He had stepped into a new role, one where the world would inevitably be watching his every move. While Inauguration Day was undoubtedly focused on the return of Donald to the presidency, it became just as much about the surprise debut of Barron Trump as a grown man, embodying both the physical and charismatic traits of his father. This moment showcased how family dynamics evolve alongside a public figure's career and how even small personal details can captivate an audience when history is being made. Hillary Clinton's reaction, while Donald Trump's inauguration marked the beginning of his historic return to the presidency, also reflected the shifting landscape of political and personal narratives intertwined on such a significant day. It was a bold proclamation during his inaugural speech that, shockingly, most people missed on Inauguration Day. Here is what happened. Trump announced a move that immediately caused a ripple of reactions. The Gulf of Mexico was to be renamed the Gulf of America. It's time for America to own its greatness, Donald declared, his voice rising with characteristic bravado. Starting today, we will no longer refer to the body of water off our southern coast as the Gulf of Mexico. From this day forward, it shall be known as the Gulf of America, a symbol of the strength, unity, and dominance of our great nation. The crowd broke into applause, though it was clear from the expressions of some attendees that not everyone was on board with this sudden rebranding effort. For many, this announcement was as audacious as it was unexpected, embodying Trump's signature approach to governance, bold, unapologetic, and headline-grabbing. Among the notable reactions, none was as strong as that of Hillary Clinton. Seated a few rows behind Donald, the former Secretary of State and Democratic presidential candidate had maintained a composed demeanor throughout most of the ceremony. However, as Donald unveiled his plan to rename the Gulf, Hillary's reaction was almost impossible to miss. It began with a slight twitch of the eyebrows, then a small but unmistakable smile, a mix of disbelief and amusement. Moments later, as Donald's supporters erupted in cheers, Hillary leaned toward Bill Clinton, whispering something that sparked a chuckle from the former president. Cameras caught the moment, and within minutes, her reaction was plastered across social media. Hillary's unguarded moment became a microcosm of the divide between Donald's supporters and detractors. While his base praised the decision as a patriotic assertion of American dominance, others, including Hillary, saw it as another over-the-top gesture emblematic of Donald's bombastic style. The announcement sparked immediate debate, with legal scholars and historians weighing in on its implications. Renaming a major body of water isn't as simple as issuing an executive order, after all. International agreements, geographical conventions, and centuries of historical precedent tie the name Gulf of Mexico to the region. Could Donald Trump realistically push such a change? Experts were skeptical, but as one commentator put it, if anyone's willing to disrupt the norm and test the limits of naming conventions, it's Donald Trump. For his supporters, however, the renaming proposal struck a chord. Although Hillary's reaction quickly overshadowed the policy debate itself, social media users dissected her every move, theorizing about what she might have whispered to her husband. The announcement also sparked international chatter. Officials from Mexico were quick to respond. the Mexican president issued a carefully worded statement emphasizing the cultural and historical significance of the Gulf of Mexico and expressing hope that diplomatic relations would remain strong despite such pronouncements. Behind the scenes, however, tensions were reportedly simmering. Other global leaders also weighed in, with some expressing surprise and others taking a more tongue-in-cheek approach. One Canadian commentator joked that if Donald's renaming the Gulf, we could finally rename Niagara Falls to something less loud. On the other hand, the French foreign minister dryly quipped during a press conference that if the Americans are renaming the Gulf, perhaps the Eiffel Tower will soon be the Freedom Tower of France. As the debate continued, Hillary was again thrust into the public eye, with both admirers and critics discussing her demeanor at the inauguration. As history looks back on this day, it may not be Donald's grand announcement that resonates the loudest, but rather the small, spontaneous moments, like Hillary's raised eyebrows and bemused smile, that remind us of the humanity behind the headlines. So, did you miss these details, or were you a keen-eyed observer of Inauguration Day? Subscribe to our channel for more. If you enjoyed our video, make sure to give it a like. Till next time.